The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says it will soon end the open market operation OMO bill sales to investors. CBN Director Monetary Policy Hassan Mahmoud, who said there are plans to phase out the instrument once current obligations have been redeemed, didn't give a time frame for the policy implementation. He added that the cost of liquidity management is getting too high and issuance of OMO bills should be a transaction between the central bank and commercial lenders. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has unveiled rice pyramids in Kebbi State, saying with this effort, the country can achieve food security. The rice pyramids are a product of the Apex Bank's Anchor Borrowers Program launched to support rice production in the country. Musa Babaliu reports.
It is a rice festival showcasing the capacity of Nigeria to produce enough rice that can feed the entire country. The celebration is, however, coming at a time security challenges are shaking the bond and the unity of Nigerians. Speakers at the festival, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Chairman Governors Forum, and Senator Ken Inamani, were of the view that agriculture should be a tool for unity rather than division.
Some people whose members have been killed or whose vehicles have been damaged are protesting and seeking attention so that they can be supported by Nigerians. But there is no blockade of food anywhere in the 36 states of Nigeria.
Because lack of food is lack of welfare for our people, is lack of security, is lack of everything, because without food you can't do anything.
But what these pyramids have shown us is that the greatest form of security is human security. And the best way to express human security is via food security.
In the meantime, the Republic of Benin said it has banned the importation and movement of rice marked for Nigerian markets through her ports. The President, Patrice Talon, in a message delivered by his Foreign Affairs Minister, said the country would rely on Nigeria for technical know-how on how to boost her local rice production.
At the Rice Festival, this means that we won't allow anymore this parboiled rice that come through Benin to Nigeria and has caused so many problems till the closure of border, which was a painful experience both for Nigerian and from Beninois.
Nigeria's rice output has increased beyond the demand of her citizens. The country is now ready to export the excess to her neighbors.
Similarly, the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has warned against Nigeria repeating the mistakes of the past by neglecting agriculture. He said the country should immediately start to build its own food reserves as the experience from the COVID-19 pandemic and the associated lockdowns globally had demonstrated that countries only export out of their reserves.
Support of the growth recorded in this drive to attain self-sufficiency in food production and to moderate prices of agricultural commodities. Mr. President has approved the resuscitation of Nigeria's commodity exchange, and the CBN, in partnership with other stakeholders, will be committing at least 50 billion naira to this initiative.
Well, recent information indicate that the Republic of Benin is taking a cue from Nigeria rice production strategy and looking to begin learning the ropes from Nigeria rice farmers. Now, to put this into context, is a former CBN Director, Department of Finance and Special Advisor to Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, Mohammed Alibaba, who joins us via telephone from Kebbi State. You're welcome to Business Express. Can you hear me? Mr. Alibaba?
Hello. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Okay. How would you react to the position taken by Republic of Benin banning parboiled rice passing through their country to Nigeria?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Alibaba, can you hear me? Yes, we have. Let's take a short break. We'll be back. Okay, but Mr. Mohammed Ali Baba, how would you react to the position taken by Republic of Benin banning boy rice passing through their country to Nigeria?
Yeah, I think it's a very brilliant and welcome development. Highly welcome. Because, I mean, by and large, we've been complaining about smuggling of imported rice into this country, which has been sabotaging the efforts of the government and Nigerians to be self-sufficient. And because of the large expanse of the borders that we have, and of course the porosity of the borders, it's not been easy for either the customs or the entire security network to police the borders. So this is really an economic soccer punch, so to say, for both countries, especially for Nigeria, and then of course the neighborly relationship that we've had, because every effort that has been made in the past has been largely failed efforts. But now, usually when you want to attack a problem, you attack it from the source. Once the Republic, as they have assured us, because I was part of the delegation, I actually went to meet with the president last week, and the leader of delegation at KB also reiterated that every item that is declared, not just rice, contraband in Nigeria will not be allowed into Benin Republic. So and once there are no goods cleared from Benin Republic ports, then there will be nothing to smuggle in. So the issue of having porous borders and limited number of customs and security operatives will have been mitigated by that single policy of Benin Republic.
Okay. The Republic of Benin is looking forward to Nigeria for technical know-how to improve their local rice production. How are we ready for that?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, on Tuesday, our meeting will continue. When we were with the president, afterwards we met with the officials about 2 or 3 times. And incidentally, KB is one of the states they share border with. Malaville is just nearby. We actually came by road from Cotonou to KB, to attend this program. So we're very much ready, and they are very anxious about the takeoff of this relationship, because it will be win-win. In the first place, like the president reiterated, they are not even getting much from the import that has been damaging our relationship by using their land, their ports as a conduit. Now with this opportunity, they will be able to create jobs for their people. There will be wealth generation too, and then of course an improved relationship, because the assurance that Nigeria gave them was the fact that they themselves know and we know this is the hugest market. If they merely as a smuggling launch pad, we could be that sustaining their ports. Then when they are producing, it will even be much easier. So we are very much ready. Like I said, even from Tuesday, we are expecting the delegation back for us to continue with the efforts. In a few months, we expect that we'll have hit the ground, even if it's starting from the neighboring land to KB.
Okay, can you brief us on this new rice scenario between Nigeria and the Republic of Benin? What was it like before now?
No, now, the relationship has been mostly informal. Of course, given the historical background across African countries, the border communities almost still interact, but it's not been formal. Actually, like I said, since we are all similar, but actually everything produced at the border within Nigeria is what is produced across. So, but the relationship, like I said, has been largely informal and mostly, we say, maybe illegal. Now, with this new development, now it will be a formal and, of course, in line with the ECOWAS and Treaty and even the African Free Trade Agreement. That will be a smooth, relationship, because the definition likely of commodities or products that can come in are those that originate from the neighbors. The African members. So if the rice, whether party or processed, comes from Benin Republic, they will meet all those requirements. So the issue of illegality and even stressing our security will not arise. And it will be win-win, because like we said, if we could be sustaining the economy of Thailand and the other Far East, then it will be easier for us to be the ones, helping our brothers to improve their economy and create jobs. And of course, that also, dovetails into security, because by the time all the border communities are busy, that limits restiveness. That also provides that there is always, activities around those locations, which will be an anathema to criminality. So it's so far-reaching that it's truly a very historic and welcome development.
Now, what is the quantity and value of rice that lands in Benin destined for Nigeria?
Well, for now I don't have the official estimate, but it's truly huge, because we the rice farmers and even those that grow that value chain have been, feeling the pinch, because before you know it, especially given apart from the policies that operate in those originating countries where they subsidize exports, a lot of what is shipped here are almost given out at less than equivalent prices here, almost that they give away, because most of them are long overstayed and even chemicalized. So you realize that against all odds, despite all the efforts to constrain them, the business, the smugglers actually bend over double to ensure that they get them in, because it's far more profitable. Now, without that, it means our own efforts here will be optimal, because even the fear of smuggling usually discourages people from going into rice farming or agro processing. Without that, now that will be an encouragement for those that are sitting on the borderline. And of course, those that are already there will equally add to what they are already doing, because the market now is assured. There is no, injurious competition from, yonder.
Okay, so besides, we understand that Benin wants to go into local production. What role did the border closure and the AFCFTA play in this?
Well, of course, they played a lot of role, the border closure actually, because it has impacted negatively on the economy, neighboring economies. We all know how much they have pleaded, how much effort was made, even though we also were impacted, but they are washed off. So actually, the border closure actually, highlighted the extreme displeasure which Nigeria, has against this economic sabotage that these neighboring countries have decided to become, source of. So it contributed a lot, and then it's part of the present mending efforts by Benin Republic in particular and other neighbors to ensure that, if they call us their big brother, they should not be a source of injury to their brother. Because we're supposed to, Africans are expected to be their brothers' keepers. Generally, we're our brothers' keepers.
Okay, what role did Nigeria play in actualizing this for Benin Republic, or Benin Republic, rather?
Part of it largely is technical assistance, and then of course partnership, because since it's a new field, it's a new business opportunity, they will actually be relying on some of our business people. First, our own expertise as Rifan and having almost perfected this anchor borrower program, and support for agriculture will come in handy. So technical and advisory support will be provided. But most importantly too, our business people, that's also another opportunity for economic diversification, because once you invest there, what you bring in will be exports, and so that will improve our balance of payment, because earnings will be made in foreign exchange, because since we are not yet using the echo as the same currency. So truly, like I said, on two fronts: advisory, technical and advisory services, and then partnership and investment. Those are the opportunities. In fact, already I think some of our businessmen have made have started those efforts, because I recall that when the president of Benin was here, he met with some of our top business people, and they discussed some of these opportunities. So the spin-off is huge, both in terms of transfer of knowledge and then investment opportunities for Nigeria and and us too.
Okay, are they producing for Nigeria?
Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa.
Okay.
They will produce for themselves, of course, the type that they eat. You know, what was even funny was the fact that they hardly eat the parboiled rice that they allow into our country, so they never needed to import them. The parboiled rice, any parboiled rice that lands in Benin Republic is meant for the Nigerian market, but it's shipped in illegally, because what these smugglers pay is usually just the transit fees. They don't pay the actual duty and levies, and that's why they were avoiding our ports. Not necessarily because of the gridlock, but because the cost is huge, it's prohibitive. You have to have your own source of foreign exchange, and then when you come, you pay the duty, and then you pay levy, and that's what they were avoiding. So, the impact is monumental, actually.
Okay, what's the implication of rice production in the Republic of Benin to the ECOWAS region and Africa in general?
Yeah, the implication is that because virtually just like it's damaging, Far East imports are damaging our economies and undermining the development of our agriculture. That's what is happening all over. So and Benin port plays a strategic role, access point for most of the landlocked African countries. So once they stop, since now anything we declare contraband is what they too will declare. Once they stop allowing those imports, that will encourage even other African countries to also look inward and start developing and improving on their agriculture, and then creating jobs and generating wealth across the country. So the ramification, like I said, the spin-off is huge, is monumental and mostly positive.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad Ali Baba with Rice Farmers Association.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. Now, oil prices were down in trade on Wednesday, extending several days of losses amid uncertainty over how much supply producing countries will push to restore to the market at a meeting this week while the coronavirus pandemic persists. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures fell 18 cents to $59.57 a barrel, down 6 cents since February 25th, when they hit their highest close since May 2019. Brent crude futures dipped 7 cents, $62.63 a barrel, down 7% from a 13-month high hit last week. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and allies known as OPEC Plus are set to meet on Thursday at a time when they are generally positive on the oil market outlook compared with a year ago when they slashed supply to boost prices. Dago edged down on Wednesday as firm U.S. Treasury yields continue to pressure on the non-yielding bullion, although prices held above 8.5 months through hit the previous session. Now, the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development has signed a 40 million euros framework agreement with Odo BHF, a Franco-German financial services group. President of EBID, Dr. George Doncourt, and Florian Wheat, heads of international corporate banking at ODDO BHF, sealed the new partnership, which is designed for project-related transactions throughout the ECOWAS region. It includes supplies from Europe, officially supported by export credit agencies like Atradios of the Netherlands, BPI France Assurance Exports of France, or Euler Hammes of Germany. The cooperation between EBID and ODDO BHF AG is said to be an important contribution to promoting the development of various industrial sectors in the ECOWAS region. It aims to further strengthen the prospect for small and medium-scale enterprises and industries to enable them to contribute to the growing economy and generate employment. Now, Asian markets mix as private survey shows China's services sector activity growth slowed down. NTAi reports.
Stocks were mixed Wednesday. South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40, Namibia's overall index, and Tunisia's Tunidex all traded in positive territory, while Nairobi All Share and Ghana GSE Composite were the relative underperformers, dipping 0.17% and 0.32%. Stocks in Asia Pacific were high on Wednesday, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index leading gains among the region's major markets, jumping 2.7% to close at 29,880.42 basis points, while the Shanghai Composite gained 1.95%. The Nikkei 225 also closed 0.51% higher at 29,559.10. Away from Asia, European stocks advanced, with investors in the UK keen to see what taxation and spending plans the British government reveals in the annual budget statement. The DAX climbed 0.96%, CAC 40 of France 0.92%, while London FTSE added 1.22%. In the US, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 143.99 points. The S&P 500 slipped 0.81%, while the Nasdaq Composite dropped 1.69%. Nneka Uku, Business Express.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange ended today's trading on a negative. The all-share index declined 0.44% to end 39,522.06 basis points. 244.3 million shares valued at 4.1 billion exchange hands in 4,714 deals. Market capitalization stands at 20.6 trillion naira. Well, the most active shares are Zenith Bank Guarantee Trust and UCAP. Well, this is where we end this episode of the program. Don't forget you can access this and all previous episodes on YouTube, and you can also communicate with us on Twitter, and the handle is NTAi News Now. The hashtag is BizExp. We value your feedback. Do join us again on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. for another package. I'm Musa Abubakar saying, while staying safe, keep thinking and doing business.